Hello everyone. So very good evening. In the previous class we have finished till problem number 11, that is in the journal entries chapter. So today let's continue with the problem number 12. So problem number 12 from your textbooks. Prakash started his business with following assets and liabilities. As on January 1st, 2008, he is having some opening balances, that is cash in hand, stock in hand, debtors and creditors. So we need to record a opening balance entry first as on January 1st. So cash account, that is cash in hand, is a debit balance, that is asset to the business, so it will appear on the debit side. Cash account debit, that is 20,000. Stock in hand is also an asset, so it will also appear on the debit side. Stock account debit, that is 25,000. Debtors is also an asset to the business, so it will also appear on the debit side. Khanna Brothers, Nirmana and Company, 20,000 and 15,000 respectively. So next, creditors, Kripal Brothers, Mitra, Sen and Company. So Kripal Brothers, these are the creditors, so they will have it, creditors will have the credit balance, so it will appear on the credit side of the journal entry. So Kripal and Brothers 10,000, Mitra Sen and Company 15,000. In the question it is given 15,000, but in the solution it is given 5,000. So it is a mistake. So in the solution you correct it to Mitra Sen and Company, that is 15,000. So follow the question. So you get the capital balancing figure as 55,000. If you correct the question, if you correct the solution, you will get the capital, that is 55,000, to capital account 65,000. It is nothing but excess of assets over liabilities is equals to capital balance. Okay, so capital will be the balancing figure in this entry. So narration would be being various assets and liabilities brought into the business, that is the opening balances. Okay, so the next transaction is on the 2nd January, sold goods to Karmakar subject to trade discount of 10%. So here they have given trade discount. So we don't record trade discounts in the books of accounts. We usually deduct the trade discount from the amount of sale value, and then we will record a journal entry in the books. So for trade discount there will be no discount entry. So the entry would be Karmakar account debit the receiver, Karmakar account debit 10,000 minus 10%, that is 10,000 into 10% is 1,000. Therefore deduct the trade discount, 10,000 minus 1,000, that comes to 9,000. So Karmakar account debit to sales account 9,000. Next comes to received from Nirman and Company, discount allowed 500 and received amount is 14,500. So in the opening balance, Nirman Company was a debtor with amount of rupees 15,000. So as on 4th January we are receiving the amount from the Nirman Company. So cash is coming in, debit what comes in. So cash account debit, we allowed discount to Nirman and Company since he is a debtor and we allowed him a discount, so it is expenditure to the business. So debit all expenses, discount allowed account debit to Nirman and Company. What is the amount we need to receive in actual is 15,000. So credit the Nirman Company with 15,000. The whole entry would be cash account debit, discount allowed account debit 500 to Nirman and Company account, that is 15,000. And next, on 8th January, settled Mitra Sen and Company's account, deducting 5% for cash discount. So 5% cash discount is a discount received because Mitra Sen and Company is a creditor in the opening balance with amount of rupees 15,000. Okay, with amount of rupees 15,000 opening balance we have a creditor, but now as on 8th January we are settling his account. So settled Mitra and Company's account, deducting 5% for cash discount. Here we record the discount entry because it is a cash discount. So on 15,000, 5% cash discount would comes to 750. Okay, so the entry would be debit the receiver. Mitra Sen and Company is the receiver of the amount, so debit the receiver Mitra Sen and Company account debit 15,000 to cash account, that is 15,000 minus 5% comes to 14,250 to discount received account, that is 750. To discount received account, that would be 750. Okay, this 750 comes, how it comes, that 15,000 into 5%, that comes to 750. That is a discount we received, the amount which we did not pay to Mitra Sen and Company. He allowed us discount, so it is a profit to the business. So it is an income, so credit all incomes and gains, discount received, credit side 750. The whole entry would be Mitra Sen and Company account debit 15,000 to cash account 14,000, 14,250 to discount received account, that is 750. Okay, next, purchased stationery articles, it is an expenditure, therefore stationery account debit to cash account, that is 100 rupees. Paid rent for the month, rent is also an expenditure, debit all expenses, so rent account debit to cash account with 250. Brought goods from SK and Company 30,000, so we brought goods, so it is stock is coming in the form of purchases account debit to credit the giver SK and Company, that is with 30,000. Paid Kripal brothers in full settlement of account, in full settlement. Okay, they use the word full settlement. So see the Kripal brothers previous balance, in the opening balance we have the creditors Kripal brothers amounts to 10,000, so we are settling their account in full settlement, so we need to verify whether we have received any discount. Yes, we have received discount, because we need to pay only 10,000 but we are paying only 9,500, so yes, we received discount. So debit the receiver, that Kripal and brothers is the receiver of the amount of 10,000 to cash account, what we are actually paying 9,500, and the discount what we received is 500. Okay, discount received income, so 500 on the credit side. Whole entry would be Kripal brothers and Company 10,000 to cash account 9,500 to discount account, that is 500. Okay, withdrew cash for personal expenses. Personal expenses is nothing but drawings into the business, drawings from the business. Drawings is an expenditure, so debit all expenses, drawings account debit to cash is going out, cash account with rupees 500. Issued a credit note to Mr. Karmakar for the goods damaged in transit. Okay, for Karmakar we have sold goods on 2nd January. If we see the transaction on the 2nd January, we have sold goods to Karmakar subject to a trade discount of 10%, which came around 9,000, right? So while in transit the goods got damaged, and we issued a credit note to the Karmakar, means it is our mistake from our side. So our stock is getting damaged in the transit, so we will receive that damaged stock back to us, and the Karmakar need not pay the amount of rupees 900 to us. Means how the 900 came, 1000 is the amount of goods damaged, and we gave 10% trade discount to Karmakar, so 10,000 minus 10% comes to 900. Okay, so we are receiving back the damaged goods again, so goods damaged account debit, we are receiving the stock again. It is not a purchase, it is not a sale, but it is a goods damaged stock we are receiving, so we will record it as expenditure, goods damaged account debit to credit the giver. Who is the giver here? Karmakar, because Karmakar is not taking such goods, he is returning back. It is not a sale return also, because the goods got damaged in transit, he did not receive the goods, but in transit the goods got damaged, so we need to replace the goods with a good goods. So we will take the damaged goods back, and we will send the normal goods to the Karmakar. So while receiving such damaged goods, we will record the entry that stock is coming in, that which stock, damaged stock, so damaged goods account debit to credit the giver. Who is the giver? See, we have recorded a debit balance to Karmakar in the previous entry as on January 2nd. So now we need not receive that 900 rupees from Karmakar for the damaged goods. So debit balance should get reduced. The debtor balance should get reduced. So the Karmakar should get a credit of rupees 900. Or else you can think in the way of that credit the giver. So Karmakar is a giver of the damaged goods, he is giving back to goods to us, so 900 credit the giver. So the entry would be goods damaged account debit to Karmakar account. Okay. Next, on 25th January, returned goods to SK and Company and received their credit note. Returned goods to SK and Company. So see the previous transactions, if any, we have made with SK and Company. On January 13th, we have brought goods from SK and Company amounts to 30,000. So now we are returning the goods. We are returning the normal goods only. These are not damaged goods, okay? Returning the returned goods to SK and Company and received their credit note for purchase returns. These are purchase returns. We have purchased goods on January 13 and now, and as on January 25th, we are returning the goods in the which are normal goods. So it is a purchase return. So purchase returns debit the receiver. SK and Company is the receiver of such purchase return goods. Debit the receiver SK and Company account debit to purchase returns. While purchasing, we will debit the purchases, but while returning, we are giving back the goods in the form of purchase returns. So credit what goes out, that is stock is going out in the form of purchase returns. So two purchase returns which amounts to 5,000. Okay. Next, and as on January 29th, paid SK and Company on account 10,000, discount allowed 250. So how much amount we need to pay to SK and Company comes to 10,000 plus 250, 10,250. So first debit the receiver. SK and Company account debit 10,250 to what we are actually paying to cash, that is only 10,000. So to cash account, that is 10,000, and what we are receiving, discount we are receiving, it is an income. SK and Company allowed us a discount. We made a purchase and we are receiving a discount. We need not pay this 250 amount to SK and Company, so it is an income. Credit all incomes and gains. So discount received account, that comes to 250. So the whole entry would be SK and Company account debit 10,250 to cash account 10,000 to discount received account, that is 250. Okay. And the next entry, that is as on January 29th, cash sales. It is a cash sale, so we receive the cash in return. Cash account debit to sales account. Paid salaries 1,500. Salaries expenses, so debit all expenses and losses. Salaries account debit to cash account would be the entry. Okay, till here we have completed the solution of problem number 12. So let's start with the problem number 13. Generalize following transactions in the books of Ram Naresh, October 1st, 2007. Okay, for the month of October. Assets, they have given opening balance of assets and liabilities. So it means we need to record the opening entry for this month. Okay, so assets, furniture, machinery, stock, cash in hand, cash at bank, amount due from Ramesh and amount due from Suresh. Okay, these are all the assets. So assets will have the debit balance. So these accounts will be recorded on the debit side. Like furniture account debit 5,000, machinery account debit 10,000, stock account debit 4,000, cash in hand account debit 550, cash at bank account debit 7450, amount due from Ramesh, that is rupees 1,000, and amount due from Suresh, it is 2,000. They have given in the question itself that these are the assets, so it would be easy for you to make it out. That is assets will appear on the debit side. Okay, so next they have given the liability balances. So liabilities will always have the credit balance. Okay, so they will be recorded at the credit side. Amount due to Ram and Company 4,500, amount due to Rajneet Company rupees 2,000, and amount due to Sham Sundar 1,500. So what would be the balancing figure? The balancing figure would be capital, that is the excess of assets over liabilities is the balancing figure, that is a capital. Okay, 22,000. Next, as on October 1st, purchased goods from Ajay Kumar. So it is a credit purchase. We did not paid cash in return to Ajay. So what would be the entry? Stock is coming in the form of purchases. So purchases account debit what comes in, purchases account debit to credit the giver, that is Ajay Kumar. So entry would be purchases account debit to Ajay Kumar, that is 4500. As on 3rd October, sold goods for cash, that is 1500. So we made a cash sale. We are receiving in return cash. So cash account debit to sales account 1500. Paid to Himanshu by check. Okay, we made a payment through bank. So the entry would be debit the receiver and credit what goes out. Debit the receiver, Himanshu personal account, and we are paying through check means bank. So bank is a real account. So personal account rule is debit the receiver, credit the giver, and real account rule is debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So we are paying to Himanshu debit the receiver, that is Himanshu account debit to credit what goes out, real account rule, to bank account, that is 5500. Okay. Sold goods on credit to Mukesh. So it is a credit sale. It is, we are not receiving any cash in return. So debit the receiver of the goods, Mukesh account debit the receiver, Mukesh account debit to stock is going out, that in the form of sales, to sales account, Mukesh account debit to sales account, that comes to 1700. Paid for postage is an expenditure, so debit all expenses, and we are paying through cash, nothing is given, so assume cash. Postage account debit to cash account 100. Received cash from Rakesh, we are receiving cash from Rakesh amounting rupees 2200. So what is coming in? Cash is coming in. Debit what comes in, real account rule, cash account debit to credit the giver, personal account rule, to Rakesh account. So cash account debit to Rakesh account 2200. Paid telephone charges 250. Telephone charges is an expenditure, so debit all expenses, telephone charges account debit to cash account 250. Next, cash sales 1500. So cash account debit, we are receiving cash account debit to stock is going out in the form of sales, to sales account 1500. Okay. Purchased government securities is nothing but we are making some investment in the shares or securities. Okay, investment is an asset to the business, so we will record it as government securities account or investment in the government securities account debit to cash account. Since nothing is given that how we made the payment, so to cash account, that is 5000. Investment is an asset, so it will appear in the balance sheet on the asset side. Okay. Purchased goods worth rupees 16000 less 20% rate discount and 5% cash discount from Malhotra and Company for cash. And okay, till here it is one transaction, so let's solve this transaction first. So purchased goods worth rupees 16000 less 20% rate discount and 5% cash discount. So let's calculate first. 16000 into 20% comes to 3200. 16000 into 20% comes to 3200. So first we need to deduct 3200 trade discount. We need to deduct trade discount, that is 3200. So 16000 minus 3200 comes to 12,800. So what is the amount we need to pay to Malhotra and Company after trade discount? That is 12,800. Generally we don't record trade discount in the books of accounts, right? Okay, so after getting this 12,800, we are making a cash payment. Okay, for cash, so we are making the cash payment for purchases. So debit the receiver. That debit the receiver means we are making the cash payment. So here the stock is coming in. Debit what comes in, that is purchases account in the form of purchases. So purchases account debit 12,800 to cash account. See again here, how much cash we need to pay is 12,800 and we are getting cash discount of 5%. So we don't record trade discount, but we will record cash discount in the books of accounts. So on 12,800 you need to calculate 5%. 12,800 into 5% comes to 640 rupees. So we are paying only 12,800 minus 640, that is 12,160. See, what we need to pay actually is 16,000 minus 20%, that is 16,000 minus 3,200 comes to 12,800. So we are making purchases, stock is coming in, purchases account debit, that is 12,800. But again we are getting the cash discount. Generally we record cash discount in the books of accounts. So what we need to pay 12,800, what we are paying now 12,160, that is 12,800 minus 5% cash discount. Okay, so to cash account 12,160, to discount received, how much discount we received, 12,800 into 5%, that is 640 rupees discount we received. So the whole entry would be purchases account debit, since stock is coming in. To Malhotra account, no, because we are paying cash, so we don't record Malhotra account now, because we are settling the amount in cash. What is going out, cash is going out. So purchases account debit to cash account 12,160, to discount received account 640. This would be the entry. And on the same date we had made another transaction, supplied goods, what we have purchased, supplied goods to Ramesh and company at list price less 10% trade discount. So here the list price means, that is 16,000. Here the list price means the actual price of the goods. List price means actual price of the goods, that is 16,000. So whatever the goods we have purchased on this date, that is from Malhotra and company, we are selling the same goods to Ramesh and company at list price less 10% trade discount. So here the sale value will be 16,000 minus 10%. 16,000 minus 10%, that comes to 14,400. Okay, 16,000 minus 10%, that comes to 14,400. So debit the receiver of the goods, that is Ramesh and company. We are not receiving cash in return here, so we are not debiting the cash. We are giving the goods and we are not receiving cash from Ramesh and company. So debit the receiver of the goods. It is a credit sale. Debit the receiver of the goods, Ramesh and company account debit 14,400, with 14,400 to sales account, that is 14,400. We don't record the trade discount. Okay, and here the list price means the actual price of the goods. The actual price of the goods is 16,000. Okay, I hope it is clear till here. And next transaction, that is on 25th October, cash purchases. So it is a cash purchase, stock is coming in, purchase account debit, and we are paying cash to cash account. Purchase account debit to cash account 16,500. Goods worth rupees 500 were damaged in transit. A claim was made on the railway authorities for the same. Okay, goods were damaged and the claim was made from the railway company. So here it is a loss to the business. It is a loss to the business that goods got damaged because of the railways, because of the railway authorities. That's why the claim was made on the railway authorities for the same. So we need to receive the claim, but still it is a loss to the business. So railway claim account debit all expenses and losses, railway claim account debit to purchases account because what we have purchased the goods, that stock is getting damaged and that we need to reduce the stock from the books of account, so we need to decrease it from the purchases, we need to decrease the purchases balance. So always we debit the purchase account, so now to decrease the purchase account we need to credit the purchase account. Okay, so railway claim account debit to purchases account. Railway claim account debit, it is a loss. So railway claim, it is a loss, it is an expenditure to the business that the goods got damaged. So always railway claim would be the loss or expense to the business. So railway claim account debit to, we need to decrease the stock because the goods got damaged, the stock got damaged, so we need to remove that stock from the books of account, so we need to credit the purchase account. So purchases railway claim account debit to purchases account of rupees how much, 500. Okay, Suresh is a declared insolvent. Insolvent means here we need to get a point of bad debts. Okay, so Suresh is declared insolvent and dividend of 50 paise per rupee is received from him in full settlement. Okay, so what is the amount we need to receive from Suresh? See it on the debtor side, what is the amount we need to receive as on October 1st 2007. Amount due from Suresh is 2000, so we need to receive the amount of 2000 from Suresh, but now he is declared as insolvent, means the amount is unable to recover now. The owner of the entity is unable to recover the amount because the Suresh is declared as insolvent. He will not pay the any amount except 50 paise in a rupee. So 50 paise in a rupee, for 1 rupee we are receiving 50 paise. For 2000 rupees how much we will receive, means 2000 into 0.5 divided by 1, divided by 1 comes to 1000, or else you can calculate as 2000 into 50%, that is 1000. So 1000 we can receive and 1000 will be a bad debt. So what we are receiving is only rupees 1000, so debit what comes in cash account debit 1000, and remaining amount is bad debt. Bad debt is an expenditure or loss to the business, so it will debit all expenses and losses, so debit the bad debts account with rupees 1000 to Suresh account. So credit the giver, how much he need to give to us actually is rupees 2000, but we are receiving only 1000 and 1000 is a bad debt, and what we ultimately need to receive is 2000. So the entry would be cash account debit 1000, bad debts account debit 1000 to Suresh account, credit the giver 2000. Okay, this would be the entry. Bought a horse for rupees 2600 and a carriage for rupees 1200 for delivering goods to customers. Okay, he bought a horse, the owner of the entity bought a horse, so it is horse or a biological, it is a biological asset, it is a biological asset, or a, we can call it as a livestock, if we can call it as a livestock. So horse will be the asset to the business, horse will be the asset to the business, so livestock account debit, it is a biological asset, or we can record it as a biological asset account debit or livestock account debit 2600, and he paid a carriage for 1200 for delivering the goods. So, so carriage is also expenditure. You can record a separate entry for both the transactions as well. Livestock account debit to cash account 2600, and he paid a carriage amount for the transportation or delivery of goods to customers. So carriage is an expenditure, carriage account debit to cash account, that is 1200. So both the transactions entry, livestock account debit to cash account 2600, since the asset is coming in livestock and cash is going out, both are real accounts, so debit what comes in, credit what goes out. And carriage is an expenditure, debit all expenses and losses, carriage account debit to cash account 1200. Next, as on 30th October, the horse bought on 28th October died and its carcass was sold for rupees 100. So actually for what amount we have purchased the livestock? 2600, but it has died now and we are selling that carcass for rupees 100, the body of the carcass of horse for rupees 100. So here we need to we need asset is going out of the books, so credit what goes out to livestock account, that comes on the credit side of amount rupees 2600. What we are receiving in return is cash, that is of rupees 100, and remaining amount is lost to the business. Remaining amount is a loss to the business, that is 2600 minus 100, that is 2500 is loss to the business. So the entry would be debit what comes in cash account debit, and debit all expenses and losses. Cash account debit, that is 100, debit all expenses and losses, that is loss on sale or loss on death of horse, that is 2500. To what is going out, credit what goes out, since it is an asset to the business, so credit what goes out, real account rule, that is livestock or biological asset is going out 2600 value. Okay, so the entry would be cash account debit 100, livestock account, sorry, loss account debit 2500, to biological asset or livestock account 2600. Okay. Next, as on 31st October, allowed interest on capital 10% per annum for 1 year. So capital, what is the capital amount? We got it in the first transaction or first entry. As on 1st October 2007, we have a capital balancing figure 22,000. So he got interest, the owner of the entity got interest on the investment or the capital which he invested into the business. So interest account debit, it is an expenditure, right? It is an expenditure to the business, because business is paying to its owner interest amounting 22,000 into 10%, that comes to 2200. So interest account debit to capital account 2200. Capital account will get increased because capital account will get increased. Capital will have the credit balance always. So to increase the credit balance, we need to again credit. To increase the credit balance, capital account will always have a credit balance. So to increase the credit balance, we will again credit the capital account. Okay, interest is an expenditure to the business, because out of the business some money is going to the owner as an interest. So interest account debit all expenses to capital account, and it is going to the capital account of the owner. So to capital account 2200. Okay, interest account debit 2200 to capital account, that is 2200. Next, paid for salaries 1500, rent 600. Okay, both are expenditures only, so debit all expenses and losses. So salaries account debit to cash account 1500, rent account debit to cash account 600. So this is the solution for problem number 13. Hope it's clear till here. So let's start with the problem number 14. Journalize following transactions in the books of a trader, that is in the month of April 2008. They have given debit balances, debtors and creditors. Okay, it means we need to record the opening balance entry. So debit balances and debtors comes on the debit side. So in the journal entry all will be debited and creditors will be credited. So excess of assets over liabilities or creditors is the balancing figure of the capital. Okay, so the entry would be cash account debit, cash in hand account debit 16,000, cash at bank account debit 51,200, stock account debit 40,000, furniture account debit 8,000, buildings account debit 20,000, debtors account debit, that is Vijay account debit 5400, Anil account debit 3000, Ashwini account debit 4000, Anupam account debit 3600, Madhu account debit 200. Two creditors, that is to Anand account 10,800, to Arya and Company 15,400, to Balwant Rai 10,400, to Mrs. Loan account, that is 20,000. So the balancing figure will be the capital account, that comes to 94,800. Excess of assets over liabilities is 94,800. As on 1st April, purchased goods worth rupees 10,000 less 20% trade discount and 5% cash discount. Okay, so 20% trade discount we will not record in the books, but we will deduct it from the price of the goods, that is 10,000 minus 20% is 8,000. Okay, so what is the value of the stock now? 8,000. What is coming in? Stock is coming in. Therefore purchases account debit to what we are paying in cash, we are paying, since they have not given any creditor name. So to cash account, that what we need to pay actually 8,000, but we are getting 5% cash discount, that is 8,000 into 5% comes to 400. Okay, so purchases account debit 8,000, to cash account what we are actually paying is 8,000 minus 400, that is 7,600. To discount we are receiving discount received account, that is income, credit all incomes and gains. So to discount received account 400. Okay, this is the entry. So as on 3rd April, rupees 5292 received from Vijay and allowed him discount of rupees 108. Okay, we are receiving amount from Vijay, that is 5292, and we allowed discount to him, that is 108. So amount comes to 5292 plus 108. So what is the actual amount we need to receive from the Vijay? 5,400. But what we are receiving actually 5292, and discount we allowed to him, it is an expenditure. So what is debit, what comes in? Cash account debit 5292, discount allowed is an expenditure, so debit all expenses. Discount allowed account debit 108, to credit the giver to Vijay account, that is 5,400. Okay, so the next one, as on 5th April, we bought 100 shares in Bharat Limited at rupees 30 and brokerage paid rupees 60. Okay, brokerage is also part of cost of investment we have made. Investment, it purchased shares, it is nothing but investment, it is an asset, so it will appear on the asset side of the balance sheet. Okay, so what is the value of investments we have purchased? 100 into 30 per share, 100 into 30, and we paid brokerage, it is also cost, right? Brokerage, so we need to include this brokerage cost in the investments value. So 3,000 plus 60, that comes to 3,060. So what is coming in? Investments in shares, investment in shares account debit 3,060, to cash account 3,060. Next one, goods worth rupees 1,000 were damaged in transit. A claim was made on railway authorities for the same. Okay, it is similar to the previous problem entry. The same, we have made the claim to the railways authorities, so we will record the damaged goods in the name of railway claim account. Okay, so debit all expenses and losses. So we lost goods, or the goods got damaged in the transit, and the railway authorities are responsible for it, and we made a claim from them. So railway claim account debit all expenses and losses. So railway claim account debit. 2, we need to decrease the stock, right? What we have purchased the stock, we will sell that only. So from purchases we need to decrease. So while on purchase we will record as purchases account debit. So we will debit the purchases, that is what the stock is coming in. But now the stock got damaged, means we need to decrease the stock. So to decrease the debit balance, we need to credit it. So we need to decrease the stock, so we need to credit the purchases. So the debit all expenses and losses, the entry would be railway claim account debit to stock, that is in the form of purchases account debit, that to purchase account 1,000. See, the entry would be railway claim account debit, it is an expenditure or loss to the business. So railway claim account debit 1,000, to purchases account, we need to reduce the stock Okay, we need to reduce the stock. So to reduce the stock debit balance, we need to credit the stock, that is in the form of purchases. Railway claim account debit to purchases account, that is 1000 rupees. So next comes to cash rupees 10,584 paid to Anand and discount allowed by rupees 216. Okay, we paid cash to Anand and we received a discount. So Anand allowed us discount, so it is an income to us. We paid cash to Anand. So what is the actual amount? 5,584 plus 216 comes to 10,800. What is the actual amount we need to pay to Anand? That is 10,800. So debit the receiver. Anand is the receiver, so Anand account debit 10,800, but what we are actually paying to him is 10,584 to cash account 10,584 to discount received account 216. So the entry would be Anand account debit 10,800 to cash account 10,584 to discount received account 216. Next one, received cash from railways in settlement of the claim for damages in the transit. Okay, we have made a claim on 8th April, right? So we are receiving the same amount as on 13th April. So what is the claim amount? That is rupees 1000. So cash is coming in, cash account debit to railway claim account. Now it is a profit or gain to business. See, previously we recorded it as a loss on the debit side or expenditure on the debit side, but now we are receiving the cash from the railway authorities, so we recovered our amount. So we need to credit such account, that is railway claim account. Cash account debit to railway claim account, that is with rupees 1000. Next, Anupam is declared insolvent and dividend of rupees 50 paise in the rupee. Okay, received in the full settlement. Okay, Anupam declared insolvent. Insolvent means bad debts. Okay, so Anupam, what is the amount we need to receive from Anupam? That is from debtor. He is a debtor. So opening balance he is having 3,600. So we are able to receive only 50 paise in a rupee from him. So 3,600 into 50%, that comes to 1,800. Okay, so we are able to receive only 1,800. So cash account debit 1,800, remaining is bad debts. So bad debts is nothing but expenditure, debit all expenses or losses. Bad debts is loss to the business, so debit all expenses and losses. Bad debts account debit 1,800 to Anupam account. What he need to pay to us actually 3,600. Okay, credit the giver, that is Anupam. He need to pay actually 3,600. The entry would be cash account debit 1,800, bad debts account debit 1,800 to Anupam account, that is 3,600. Next, sold 40 shares in Bharat Limited at rupees 36, brokerage paid rupees 30. Okay, we sold goods and we incurred brokerage expenditure, so total amount is part of the investments only. Okay, so 40 into 36, we sold for 1440 and we incurred brokerage expenditure. So out of this profit amount we need to reduce the cost. So 1440 is the amount we need to receive and we paid rupees 30. Therefore 1440 minus 30 comes to 1410 rupees. So we are receiving cash, that is cash account debit 1410 to investments account. What is the value of investment we are selling? That is 1410 rupees. Okay, cash account debit and credit what goes out, debit what comes in. Rule, both are assets, so real account rule, cash is coming in and investments going out. What goes out? Credit what goes out. Okay, 1410 rupees. Next, bought a horse for rupees 4,000. Okay, so it is a biological asset or it is a livestock. Okay, so livestock account debit or biological asset account debit 4,000 to cash account 4,000, and a carriage of rupees 2,000 for delivering goods to customers. So carriage is an expenditure, so debit all expenses. Carriage account debit to, we are paying cash, so cash account, carriage account debit to cash account. Paid for charity, postage and stationery. So 3 are expenditures, debit all expenses. So charity account debit 202, postage account debit 400, stationery account debit 398, 2 cash account, that is 202 plus 400 plus 398 comes to 1000. Okay. So next, 1 month's interest on Mrs. loan at the rate of 12% became due but could not be paid. Okay, the month 1 month interest means interest for the month of April. We are doing entries for the month of April, so we need to calculate the interest of 1 month. So what is the amount of loan which we need to repay to Mrs. loan? That is 20,000. So 20,000 into 12% is the amount of interest. Okay, so 20,000 into 12% into, for 1 month we need to calculate the interest amount in. So 20,000 into 12% into 1 divided by 12 months. 1 month divided by 12 months. So it comes to 200. How it came? 20,000 into 12% into 1 divided by 12 months. 1 month divided by 12 months, that comes to 200. So it is, interest is an expenditure and we are not paying the interest now, so no cash is going out, but it is getting added to the loan because we need to pay the amount in future, so the credit balance will get increased, right? So interest is an expenditure, debit all expenses, interest account debit 200. This amount needs to get added to the loan. Loan of credit is always have the credit balance, so to increase the credit we need to credit the loan account again. So interest account debit to Miss loan account 200. Okay, so next comes to, a horse bought on January 20 died. Its carcass was sold for rupees 100. Okay, similar to the previous problem. We bought a horse for 4,000 and it is died, and now we sold it for 100. The carcass is sold for 100. So cash is coming in of rupees 100 and loss is 4,000 minus 100, that comes to 3,900. Debit all expenses and losses. So loss account debit 3,900 to animal, that is livestock or a biological asset is going out, that is 4,000. Cash account debit 100, loss account debit 3,900 to livestock account, that is 4,000. So next one, that is received from traveling salesman rupees 6,000 for goods sold by him after deducting his traveling expenses. See, after deducting his traveling expenses, but before deduction what is the sales value? Before deduction what is the sales value? 6,000 plus 300, that comes to 6,300. Means the sales value is 6,300, but out of this we are dividing this amount among the sales, and that is the cash we received, that is 6,000, and the traveling expenses 300. See, they gave received from traveling salesman 6,000 for goods sold by him. Okay, after deducting his traveling expenses, but before deduction what would be the amount we need to receive? 6,000 plus 300. If at all traveling expenses were not deducted from the sales value, the sales value would be 6,000 plus 300, that comes to 6,300. So the sales is 6,300, but he is taking 300 amount for his traveling expenses and giving the remaining 6,000 amount to the owner of the entity, that is to the trader. Okay, so this 6,300 sales value is getting divided in among the cash we are receiving and traveling expenses. So since the traveling expenses is also the expenditure of the business only. Okay, so we need to record this transaction as, first take it as a sales is of rupees 6,300. Okay, before deduction 6,300 is the total sales value, and we are dividing this sales value among the cash we are receiving and traveling expenses. So what we received? 6,000, and traveling expenses what he have deducted? 300. So record the entry as cash account debit 6,000 what we are receiving, and traveling expenses account debit. Since traveling expenses is an expenditure, debit all expenses, so traveling expenses account debit 300 to total sales. What is the sales? 6,300. Okay, the sales value only we are dividing among this cash and traveling expenses. Otherwise total amount of 6,300 would be in the cash only, because he is deducting the amount from the sales, that he is recovering the traveling expenses. The salesman is recovering the traveling expenses, we are dividing this amount. Okay, but the total amount is sales only, because he deducted the expenses, we are dividing this among cash we received and traveling expenses. Okay, and next one, paid for salaries rupees 7,000, rent 3,000. Okay, both are expenditures only, so debit all expenses. Salaries account debit to cash account 7,000, rent account debit to cash account 3,000. Sold goods worth rupees 20,000 less 10% trade discount. So trade discount we will not record in the books of accounts. So what we are receiving? Cash. So cash, that is 20,000 minus 10% trade discount, comes to 18,000. 20,000 minus 10% comes to 18,000. So we are receiving only 18,000. Cash account debit 18,000 to sales account debit 18,000. We will not record trade discount in the books of accounts. So here it is a solution for the problem number 14. Okay. So now let's start with problem number 15, that is past necessary entries to make the following adjustments at 31st December 2008. Depreciation. Okay, depreciation on the assets. As I said you in the accounting equations class, depreciation is a non-cash expenditure. Since it is an expenditure, nominal account rule, debit all expenses and losses, so depreciation will be debited. Okay, depreciation will be debited. And assets will have the debit balance always. Okay, assets will have the debit balance always, as I said you earlier as well. Assets will have the debit balance, since the depreciation is reduction in the or decrease in the value of assets. Depreciation means we will reduce the value of the asset with the depreciation amount. So to reduce the asset value, we will credit the asset. See, generally we will debit the assets always. So to reduce the debit balance, we will give the credit effect. We will credit such asset account to reduce the asset balances by the amount of depreciation. Okay, so now the depreciation at 5% on office furniture of rupees 8,000. So 8,000 into 500 5% comes to 400 rupees. 10% on plant and machinery, therefore 80,000 into 10% comes to 8,000. And 5% on factory building, 2 lakhs into 5%, that comes to 10,000. Okay, these are the depreciation amounts. So the entry would be depreciation account debit to office furniture account with 400, depreciation account debit to plant and machinery account 8,000, depreciation account debit to factory building account, that is 10,000. Okay, next one, the insurance premium has been paid for the year ending on 31st March next, rupees 2,400. Okay, see in the question on which date we are passing the entries? As on 31st December. We are at 31st December and we are passing these adjustments, but we made the payment for the year ending on 31st March, means we made an advance payment of insurance for 3 months, that is December. From December means it is January, February, March. For these 3 months we have made an advance payment for the insurance premium. So instead of maintaining the cash balance on the asset side, we are paying insurance. It is nothing but it is also an asset. See, advance insurance which we are paying from out of cash only. We will pay cash for the insurance premium. So instead of maintaining the asset balance in the cash on the asset side, we are paying for the insurance premium. It is not expenditure because it is, if we are in the month of December and we are paying for the month of December, it is an expenditure. But we are standing in the month of December and we are paying for the future. We are paying for the future. Instead of maintaining the cash balance on the asset side, we are maintaining the asset balance now for the prepaid insurance. So what the expenditure of the future we are paying today in advance is nothing but asset to the business. So it will have the debit balance. Okay, so it will have the debit balance, and for to which account it will get credited? To the insurance account. See, insurance account, advance premium account debit or prepaid insurance account debit 2400, right? So for 3 months we are paying, that is for January, February, March we are paying. So 2400 into 3 divided by 12. It is for 2400 is for the whole year. So 2400 into 3 months divided by 12 months. So it comes to 600. So prepaid insurance account debit, it is an asset. Prepaid insurance account debit 600 to insurance account. To which account we are paying? To insurance account. For the insurance expense we are paying today. So it is an advance, it is an asset. So debit the prepaid insurance. To which account we need to pay? That is to insurance. To insurance we are paying. Okay, so to insurance account, it is a very advanced transactions. At this early stage you please remember till here only. Later on I will be explaining in detail. Okay, up for the journal entries till here the explanation is much more. Okay, so till here you try to remember, that's it. Advance, that is asset. To insurance account we are paying, that is rupees 600. Okay, so the next the telephone rent for 1 year was paid on last 30th April, rupees 300. Means the telephone rent for 1 year was paid on last 30th April, rupees 300. Means for the April, till the April month, we are standing in the month of December. So till the April means 4 months. Till the April, that is January, February, March, April. Till April we paid the telephone rent. That is telephone rent we paid in advance. It is also an asset. So prepaid telephone rent account. How much amount? 300 into 4 divided by 12. That comes to 100. 300 into 4 divided by 12. 4 months divided by 12 months. That comes to 100. It is an advance payment. So it is also an asset. Advance payment for expenditure. So it is an asset. Advance payment for expenditure. So it is an asset. So prepaid telephone rent account debit to which account? Telephone rent account, that is rupees 100. Okay. Next, interest on capital at 6% per annum is to be allowed. Capital in the beginning was 3 lakhs. Okay, what is the interest? 3 lakhs into 6% per annum. 3 lakhs into 6%. So 3 lakhs into 6%, that is 18,000. Okay, so we record total 18,000 being 6% interest on capital provided. Okay, what is the entry? Interest is an expenditure to the business. So interest account debit. To which account we are paying or to which account we are crediting? That is capital account. That is owner's equity. Owner's equity. Interest account debit to capital account. That is 18,000. Okay. So here we are not dividing because we are not dividing among the months because these are the adjustment entries. They did not given any data that this interest pertains to so and so month or this interest pertains to so and so year. So they just gave the transaction like 6% per annum. In the previous transactions they have mentioned that advance payment till which month they have paid, but here they did not mention nothing, so we have taken for whole year. These are the adjustment entries we are doing, not the actual entries for the month of December. If it would be the actual entries for the December month only, then we would have taken for the December month, that is for the 1 month only. Since these are the adjustments, we don't know these are the adjustments as at 31st December, but we don't know for which month, from which month these adjustments are coming from. So we need to consider total per annum basis since the data is missing. Okay, next, following outstanding liabilities for expenses are to be provided for wages, salaries, trade expenses. Okay, outstanding liabilities, wages, salaries, outstanding trade expenses are expenditures, so debit all expenses. So they are asking to provide for outstanding liabilities means credit balance. So wages account debit, salaries account debit, trade expenses account debit all expenses. So debit all these accounts to outstanding liability account. 300 plus 305 plus 215 comes to 820. Okay, in question only they are asking outstanding liabilities, following outstanding liabilities for expenses to be provided. So outstanding liability is nothing but a credit balance, so create a credit amount of 820. Okay, an unsold machinery appearing in the book so at rupees 5000 is exchanged for new machinery 5000. The old machinery has been valued at 800 for exchange purpose. Okay, in the solution they have given the entry which is indirectly, so I will tell the direct entry, that is what is coming in machinery. New machinery is coming in of value 5000, so new machinery account debit rupees 5000. So machinery is coming in, and what is going out? Old machinery is going out. Okay, so what is the value of old machinery? Actual value, that is the old machinery has been valued at rupees 800 for exchange purpose. Okay, so the actual value of the old machinery which is valued for this purpose of sale is 800. So machinery account debit 5000 to old machinery account debit 800 to profit and loss account, that is 5000 minus 800, that comes to 4200. Okay, the entry is please write if you want. The entry is new machinery account debit 5000 to old machinery is going out to old machinery account 800 to profit and loss, or to profit on the sale of old machinery. To profit on sale of old machinery is a balancing figure that comes to 4200. New machinery account debit 5000 to old machinery account 800 to profit on sale of old machinery, that is 4200. Credit all incomes and gains, that's why credit side profit on sale of old machinery 4200 is the balancing figure. Okay, this entry you leave it because it is an advanced one, you will not understand now. Okay, this entry you leave it. Whatever the entry I have told you, you just write it. It is also a correct way of recording the journal entry. Okay, that's it. Here it is a solution for problem number 15. So next let's start with problem number 16. Journalize following transactions in the books of B.K. Bhandari. Check of rupees 100 previously received from S.C. Puri in settlement of a debt, now returned dishonored. Means on receipt of the check, what might be the entry? On receipt of the check, we are receiving the check into the bank, so debit what comes in, that is bank account debit to credit the giver, that is S.C. Puri account. So the entry might be bank account debit to S.C. Puri account, that is 100. Now the check is getting dishonored, means we are returning back the check because the check got dishonored due to some issue. So we are now returning the check. So now debit the receiver, debit the receiver, that is SC Puri, we are returning the check to him, that is SC Puri account debit. 2, what is going out, that is we are giving him back the old check which got dishonored. Okay, so to bank account, that is 100. Okay, SC Puri account debit to bank account, that is 100. We made such transaction entries in yesterday's class as well. We made 2 to 3 problems basically on these type of entries, so it is similar to that only. Next one, fire insurance premium of rupees 250 paid for 1 year. So might be this year only, might be this expenditure is for this year only, it is not for the next year. They did not give any information regarding that, so it is not an advance, it is an expenditure for this year only. So fire insurance premium account, that is an expenditure, debit all expenses to cash account, 250 rupees. Okay, sold goods to rupees 50 to RN Bose on credit. Since it is a credit sale, we are not receiving any cash. Debit the receiver, that is RN Bose. RN Bose account debit to stock is going out in the form of sales to sales account, rupees 50. RN Bose account debit to sales account, that is rupees 50. Goods returned from JN Basak, rupees 35. Goods returned from him means it is nothing but a sales return. We might have made sales to JN Basak. Now he came to us to return the goods, means it is a sales return. So the stock is coming in the form of the sales returns. So debit what comes in sales returns account debit to credit the giver JN Basak with rupees 35. Next, rupees 50 owing by SK Prasad written off as a bad debt. Okay, so it became bad debt, means we are not receiving any amount of rupees 50 from SK Prasad in future anymore. So it is a bad debt. We need to record the bad debt, since debit all expenses, bad debt is a loss to the business, debit all expenses and losses. So bad debts account debit to credit the giver, that is SK Prasad account. He is not giving the amount, but in reality he is a giver, if you think in this way. Or else if he is a debtor actually to the business, so now we are not receiving any amount from him. So to decrease the debtor balance, that is a debit balance, we need to credit such debit balance. Okay, plus minus 0. If we think like that, in that way, it is another view. If we take it is a giver, means if we apply the rules, he is a giver, credit the giver. So bad debts account debit to SK Prasad account, rupees 50. In yesterday's class also I told you 2 views we can take, so to practice accounts. Paid rupees, next one, paid rupees 500 by check for purchase of office furniture. Okay, we purchase the office furniture through check, means we are paying through bank. So furniture is coming in, debit what comes in, real account rule, furniture account debit to bank account, debit what, credit what goes out, that is real account, bank balance we are reducing since we are paying through bank. So office furniture account debit to bank account. I hope till here I am very clear. Okay, I hope that I am very clear till here. And in the next class we will start with the preparation of the ledger books, ledger accounts and trial balance. Okay, if you enjoyed my teaching, consider subscribing my channel, and please like, share and comment on the video. Thank you so much.